Jeff, can you hear me? Can't hear me? They hear me. Do you guys hear me? I think the chats, so the people on the line with me right now can hear me, they can't hear you. Could it be your headphones? No? I don't know. All right, guys, let me know what your name is and where you're coming in from here in the chat box. And Chef is problem solving over there. Good to see you, Chef. Dale, how are you? Julie, Elite Marketing Pros in the house. Jill, Curtis, Teresa, good to see all you guys. Let me go. Chef has no sound on her end. The joy of getting a new computer. Yeah, I've been there. 100%. Do you want to use a different platform? Is it the computer? Is it the platform? What do you think? I'll stay on here, and if you want me to do anything else, let me know on Facebook, and I'll go back and forth. You have to add speakers and mic. Could be it. Hey, Teresa, Julie, Dale, Paula, Becky, good to see all of you guys. I think we'll be getting started here in just a minute. Chef's playing with her settings. All right, yeah. So tell them a little bit about me. I've been online here. This isn't awkward. I've been online for, I don't know, 3.5, 4 years now. Got started way back when in 2000, must have been 13 with the initial Elite Marketing Pro launch. I had been involved for maybe about a couple of months before that. Actually, the second Elite Marketing Pro launch. They launched one time, closed, and then launched one more time. And got involved that second time, bought from one of my mentors, Dagan, got involved in the Elite Marketing Pro community, started working and learning from them and doing all the stuff that they do over there, and got myself to the point where I was on the leaderboards in Elite Marketing Pro and also an actual Dagan system. So Dagan had a system back then that I was promoting and doing pretty well in, and kind of started to, you know, go off in my own direction, started to sell my own products a little bit more. Dagan helped me with the product. The guys at Elite Marketing Pro helped me with the funnel. Started to sell my own products a little bit more. And then recently launched my own system. Not recently, I guess. Time's flying right now. Time's compressed. And yeah, launched my own system, about a little bit over a year ago now. And it's cranking, and I'm working all the time. And a little bit sick right now, a little bit under the weather, but I wouldn't miss this for anything. And yeah, I love the Elite Marketing Pro gang. Love everything Chef Katrina does. Love everything Tim and Matt and Fernie and the guys do, the value they provide to the marketplace, and really kind of everything in between. So that's kind of my, 60-second backstory, if you will. But yeah, I don't know what the agenda is here really tonight. I know me and Chef are just kind of spitball and take it as it came. I don't know. Oh, okay, is that? Nope, someone else messaged me on Facebook. You can hear Chef, you there? Okay, you can hear me now, and you're gonna type. All right, cool. Sounds good. Hey, let's roll with it. Are we live on Facebook too? No. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, still no sound. Hang with us here, guys. We'll get this thing solved in a moment. Oh, my experience at NES5. So yeah, I mean, one of the things I tell my students, one of the things, it's actually kind of one of the things you have to do if you're, wanted to be considered serious about your business, is attending all of the live events. And one of the things that I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to do early on in my journey was just kind of blindly take the advice of a mentor to get to a live event. And I want to say it was, a couple of months after getting started with Elite Marketing Pro, I went to No Excuses Summit 5. And I was the guy in the back of the room, really skeptical of everything, no trust with the gurus. I thought they were, just trying to take my money, just trying to sell me more stuff, just trying to make a quick dollar here and there. And sat in the back of the room with my arms crossed the whole time and was just kind of really skeptical of the entire industry. And the day I walked in there, I was skeptical. And the day I left, I had made a decision that it was my time to create my breakthrough online. And that's how events work. Events are where the magic happen, not so much because of the tactics and the strategies. You learn the tactics and you learn the strategies, but in paying attention to the marketplace and hearing all the different stories throughout the marketplace and all the different leaders' stories, it's really kind of more or less where the internal shifts happen more than anything, I believe. As you pay attention to all the different stories that you hear from all the various leaders out there, most of their breakthroughs, most of their big breakthroughs came from getting to a live event, from understanding that if someone else could do it, they could too. And there's this kind of weird thing in the internet marketing world where we, to make sales, always have to be trying to position ourselves in a certain way, but then it creates this huge gap psychologically from the person just getting started. It's like, oh my God, this guy's a superhero, this guy has special powers, this guy is something I could never be. And for myself, when I got to the events, I realized that, Tim, Fernie, Matt, they're all geniuses, right? But they're all human beings, and they're all guys that if I decide to learn the skill sets that, they've dedicated themselves to learning, chances are that I could accomplish, a result, maybe not as great, but, a pretty cool result. So that was really where I decided to make a decision to completely and totally go all in with my business. It was when I decided to make a decision to really treat my business like an actual business versus a hobby. And it was really kind of where I decided to make a decision to make this thing work no matter what happens. Before that, I'd kind of been dipping my toes in the water. And after that, I was just kind of on fire, not succeeding all the time, but taking massive action 24/7 and, just kind of going all in with my business. So that was really my experience with NES5. But yeah, they're people, absolutely. Well, they're good guys, but also you just understand that they're human beings, right? And it's like, if they can do it, you can too, type of deal. Instead of in the online world, there tends to be a, if they can do it, well, they're the guru, so I probably can't accomplish that same result. That was the myth that I was telling myself that got destroyed when I went to a live event for the very first time. So it was cool. Oh, what does massive action look like? Well, when I left NES5, I still had no clue what I was doing. I had no real strategy. I had no, wasn't even really good at anything tactically. And so what massive action looked like back then for me was just doing everything I could possibly do and trying everything I could possibly try to exhaust all possible options and to try to find the thing that would create my breakthrough. So for me, I was blogging every single day. For me, I tried PPV traffic. I tried Facebook ads. I tried YouTube ads. I got my Facebook ads account shut down. I sent emails every single day that, looking back, were the worst emails, in the entire world. More or less just copy and paste spammy style of emails that did nothing for me long term. Probably threw in a few straight up spam emails looking back. Posted on everyone's Facebook walls. So I was kind of the guy that was nervous about putting myself out there way back when. So I actually started a different Facebook profile separate to my own personal Facebook profile and used that Facebook profile to just kind of post my crap everywhere. And none of it really worked the way I thought it was going to work or the way I hoped it was going to work. And I was lucky enough at one time to actually get started with my mentor, Dagan, the system that he was doing. And that system really kind of was the first time where I stopped trying to do everything and I started doing the few things that really kind of lead to a result of some kind. And then I could have a result and I could leverage that result and I could create that result, to be that next level of a result. And so got started with that, and Dagan had very clear, very step-by-step instructions. But then I was the guy that instead of, being in there taking the very minimum amount of action required, I would do whatever Dagan told me to do, and I'd do it, 10 times as hard and take 10 times as much action as everybody else within that system. And it was kind of one of those things where once I started focusing on the right things with that same mental, energy and that kind of approach to my business, where I had made the decision to go all in with my business and I was really going to treat it like a business, and I took massive action on those correct things. That's when I first started to see success. I applied that to my Elite Marketing Pro business. Immediately more or less saw success at the Elite Marketing Pro with the Elite Marketing Pro system. Applied that to my product creation process, started to sell my own products, applied that to my system creation process, started to sell my own system, my own higher ticket coaching programs and packages, and so on and so forth. So for me, it just kind of more or less looked like working nonstop in a state of belief. That was the biggest thing that No Excuses Summit 5 gave me. It gave me the belief that I needed in order to take action. What I find is that when people don't have belief, it's a mindset thing. When people don't have belief that if they take a certain action step, they won't take that action step. You can give them all the information, you can give them every single tactic, every single strategy, you can give them free access, which would actually be the worst thing in the world for you to do for them, but you can give them all the information they need to succeed. But if, over here, the mental game isn't in line, if they aren't in line with themselves, and they don't actively believe that when they take that action step, something good will happen, chances are they won't take that action step, and chances are they'll kind of shy away from taking any real action whatsoever. So that was my long-winded answer for what massive action looks like for me. Oh gosh, so why mentorship? Well, I think Tyson actually hit the ball out of the park at the No Excuses Summit 5 event. And Tyson was actually talking about personal training. And he said that, he was in the gym and he was working out and he's trying to get back in shape. He's already lost a bunch of weight, so congratulations, Tyson. But he didn't think he could bench 225, right? And he invested in personal mentorship from someone, and more or less the person was there and he said, you can do it. Let me show you how to do it. Close your eyes and try it. And Tyson got it 2 times, right? And when it comes to my own personal journey, before internet marketing, I was a tennis player. I played all the time. I played junior level tennis. And I worked my butt off to really kind of commit myself to tennis as what I wanted to do with my life. And that didn't end up quite panning out the way I wish it would have. But of course, I have internet marketing now, right? But having said that, way back when with tennis, it's the exact same thing. I would have never tried to be the best tennis player in the state without having a coach. I would have never tried to get my game to a certain level without going and seeking expert advice, more or less from someone who already had what I was looking to accomplish, right? And the perfect story is I remember for so long in my tennis career, I was trying to get a kick serve. And a kick serve is a serve where you hit it in a certain kind of way and it bounces off the court and it goes one way or the other instead of coming straight at someone, right? It kicks away from them. And I was trying to get my kick serve, and I'd go out there with a basket of balls every single day, and I must have hit, 500 to 1,000 kick serves every single day for a straight hour. And I just could not get the thing working the way I wanted it to work. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how many hours I put in, I just couldn't get the thing. It was one of the most frustrating experiences of my life. And we ended up getting a coach. I ended up getting mentorship from someone who had already accomplished what I was looking to accomplish. And he came in and he told me, you're doing 98% of everything right on your kick serve. All you got to do is, change your grip a little bit, hold the racket a little bit closer into your palm, and tweak your wrist a little bit more when you, extend. And I immediately did that. And within probably literally a 5-second period with him telling me to make that little shift, I had spent, the last year trying to get my kick serve working with the limited knowledge that I had. And in 5 seconds, he gave me a kick serve that ended up going on to be probably one of the best serves in the state of Hawaii when I was competing, right? And it was just that one little tweak that he could see, but I couldn't see it based on what my perspective was and based on not having the information that he had. And when it comes down to it, you could work as hard as you want. You can, go out and practice as much as you want to practice. You can go out and compete as much as you want to compete. You can be the most driven individual in the world. I tend to be extremely driven and extremely competitive. But if you don't have that person there to say, hey, this is what you're doing, this is what you need to be doing, you need to make these few small tweaks based on a different perspective, based on that 30,000 foot view that you don't have, you'll never be able to make that tweak like I was able to make with my Kickstarter. You'll never be able to really kind of, believe in yourself like Tyson was able to believe in himself when it came to, bench pressing 225. And so how I look at mentorship, how I view mentorship is it's really just a shortcut to creating, success much more quickly in your journey. You're still gonna have to work, you're still gonna have to put in the hours, you're still gonna have to work your tail off. But if you pay attention to every single one of the leaders out there, one of the single commonalities is that they've all invested in mentorship and they all attribute mentorship to being one of the things that really allowed them to break through really quickly in their journey. So yeah, it's an absolute must. If you're serious about your business, and if you want to treat your business like a business, and if you want to have your business pay you like a business instead of paying you like a hobby, you have to invest in mentorship because it's the fastest path to get there. And success loves speed, as I think I heard from Tim Irway originally. So it's an absolute must. How do you find a mentor? So Mary, that's a good question. Everything's overwhelming. What do you focus on? So yeah, Mary, the first thing I would say is that you have to look at people who have accomplished what you're looking to accomplish. So the first thing you have to get crystal clear on is your vision, right? If your vision is to have a lifestyle business and work, 3 hours a day and make 6 figures, that's cool. There's a mentor out there who's accomplished that result. If your vision is to create, a 7-figure or multiple 7-figure business, like it was my vision, there's a mentor out there who's accomplished that result as well. So the first thing is getting really clear on who, has actually produced the result you're looking to produce. And then you just contact them, you ask them how much it costs to get involved with their mentorship program. And you fork out the dough, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. And for me, it was super uncomfortable. There was a long period of time when I didn't invest in the Elite Marketing Pro mentorship package when I should have invested. And I remember specifically a webinar where Tim actually brought me out on the webinar. He didn't really bring me out to present. He just brought me out at the very end where I said, I'm going to speak on stage at no excuses. That was my big, because I think it was one of the bonuses in one of the offers, the chance to speak at the NES, 6 summit or whatever it was. And I was like, I'm going to speak. And Tim said, Misha, it's overdue. Come on now, let's make it happen. And that day I was like, God, I'm not doing this thing that I need to be doing. And I remember the webinar ended and I had to kind of get out of the house because I had that uncomfortable feeling kind of deep down. I remember walking around Safeway with my friends. My friends were going to the store. So I said, yeah, I'll go with you. I need to break. And it was one of those moments where I kind of didn't feel like I loved myself enough. I kind of didn't feel like I loved my business enough. And I realized that I was there working 12 hours a day, but I wasn't willing to invest in this thing that I knew I had to invest in order to take myself to the next level. I understood that, that was the thing that would get me to the next level, but I just didn't really love my business enough in order to do it. And the next webinar Tim hosted, I got on there. I didn't really even listen to the webinar. I knew I was going to buy already. I applied, I bought, and the rest is history, right? So we all have that internal resistance. We all have that kind of feeling of being a little bit uncomfortable deep down. But one of the things that my mentor, Dagan, another one of my mentors, said to me way back when I was uncomfortable about investing in his system is he said, he just asked me point blank. He said, Misha, if you're not serious enough to invest in your business and you invest in your business on a grand scale, who else will be? And he just kind of asked me that and let that question sit for a little while, right? If you're not serious enough, who else will be, right? And very quickly after that, the epiphany came, that if I'm not serious enough to invest, and if I'm not serious enough to really treat this thing like a real business and to seek out mentors and to invest in mentors, no one else will be. And that was kind of one of those huge turning points for me. So we all have it. It's just kind of a part of the journey. Masses are concerned with making money and holding money and holding on to the little money they have, while wealthy people focus on compressing time, creating leverage and speed to results. I can't see the full thing, but I think that's Lisa Grossman, because I've heard Tim mention it actually, that Lisa has that saying, and it's absolutely true. So that's what I would say, long-winded, but find someone who has what you have and invest in mentorship, do what they do, and you'll get what they've got. Okay, so as a newbie, everything is overwhelming. What to focus on? For me, there's like a core set. You have to generate leads every single day. So if you're involved in a system that does the selling for you, right? For me, if I were to get involved again, I would really want to chunk it down. What I would do is I would pick one single traffic strategy. I would have the understanding that any traffic strategy will work if you dedicate yourself to the process. I'm really good at solo ads. Matt Barron's really good at Facebook ads. I can't run a Facebook ad to save my life. Ray Higdon's a blogger. He crushes it with blogging, right? I think Matt Barron's really good at PPV too. He's just all over the place with traffic. So any traffic strategy, any traffic source will work if you commit to the process and if you commit to learning the strategies and the tactics behind using that traffic strategy. So for myself, really, if I were to get started, I would get involved with the system like Lead Marketing Pro that firstly took care of doing the selling for me, took care of selling, the upsells for me. I would get positioned at whatever level of the system that I had to get positioned at in order to earn back-end higher ticket commissions, because that'll make the economics work in your favor when you spend money on traffic. So I do that first, and that would save me a couple of months in my journey right there, just being okay with getting all in with my business. And from there, I'd pick one source of traffic, and I would set a daily kind of more or less goal for leads, depending on how fast you want to go, right? Leads, it's kind of like the more leads, the better. But I would set a daily number of leads that I had to generate based on the amount of time I had to invest in my business. And then I would make sure I hit that number of leads every single day. And then I would make sure that I followed up and provided value to the marketplace in some way, shape, or form every single day. So whether that's a simple, Facebook post, whether that's a Facebook Live, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a webinar like this one. Webinars are one of the fastest ways to create money when you know how to host a webinar. But I would follow up with my leads every single day. And then I would focus primarily on learning how to convert traffic. So one of my biggest epiphany moments in my own personal journey was when I realized that traffic is important and you should start with a system like Lead Marketing Pro to help you convert your traffic. But much more valuable than traffic in of itself is learning how to convert traffic, because when you learn how to convert traffic, you know how to, turn the sand into crystals, metaphorically, right? And if you don't know how to convert traffic, it can be really hard to get traffic because you're in this place where you spend money over here on advertising, but if you don't know how to convert, you don't know how to make $10 back for every $10 you spend. So I would focus on conversions. I would focus on learning how to sell specifically. I would get myself dialed in to being okay with selling and kind of more or less coming to the understanding that every single person out there who does well in this business, whether they use attraction marketing or whether they don't use attraction marketing, they're all really good at selling, right? And it's just one of those things you have to do in order to really crush it in this business. I would learn how to sell. I'd use how to learn how to sell via webinar. Webinars are extremely powerful because you can be one-to-many, right? We have, I think, 44 people on here with us right now. If I was selling something and I had 44 people on here with me, I would aim to sell, 4 to 6 products that night, right? If I'm selling a $297 offer, well, it's going to be a pretty good evening if I'm first getting started. Right? So those are really the things I do. I'd focus on being really consistent when it comes to following up the leads that I do have. I would focus on generating a set number of leads based on how much time I have to invest in my business when I'm first getting started. And from there, I would put all of my energy into firstly learning and then secondly implementing the actual conversion strategies so I can go out and spend more money on traffic than most of or all of my competitors out there. Because when you can do that, you can scale your business that much more quickly. So that's what I would say. Love it, awesome. Okay, yes, so did I create bonuses? Great question. So that is one of the things I would do from day number one, and that kind of ties into learning how to convert, right? So if I'm selling something like Lead Marketing Pro, if I'm selling a system, there would be bonuses to go along with that system. There's going to be some sort of, so there's gonna be some sort of extra piece of value that I'm gonna give that no one else is giving that's gonna kind of create a category of one for myself. And what you'll find is that the people who really do well, they actually make their bonuses kind of better than the actual offer itself. It's hard to do when you have something like Lead Marketing Pro. It's hard to do when you're promoting good offers. So you first need to promote a good offer. But then secondly, you almost want to create your own offer, right? So you want to create your own thing that's totally unique to you. So it's not like, as an example, I'm selling Elite Marketing Pro with these 2 other bonuses, right? You want to create, you know, the online income blueprint formula or the prospecting formula, whatever it may be, depending on what niche you're in, right? You want to create your own offer and create that offer in a way that gets people to want to buy. And then if you're selling an affiliate product, the portal for them to be able to get everything in your actual offer becomes that affiliate system or that affiliate product, right? So as an example, if I was, you know, I could sell, you know, done for you email follow-up, done for you blog post templates, done for you XYZ. So done for you always works really well with bonuses. Done with you, so personal hands-on coaching every single week. You can come out to the Maui Intensive, you know, coaching retreat, which is my mastermind out here in Maui. You can hang out with me in person. I'll write emails for you every single day. I'll write blog posts for you every single day. All you have to do is you have to get started with Elite Marketing Pro at the elevation level of membership in their system, right? So I'm creating this offer that they really want to buy. I'm creating the thing that really is kind of creating desire within them. And that's kind of filling that gap from where they are to where they want to go. And then I'm making the gateway for them to, of course, get that offer, the affiliate system, the product, the course that I'm promoting as an affiliate. And when you do it that way, yes, you're leveraging bonuses, but you're leveraging bonuses in a unique way where instead of it being 1 or 2 extra things added on, instead of it being, you know, I'll review your emails for a year, right? That's not very compelling. You're creating the thing that they want to buy, and then you're making the portal for them to get that thing, having to be your affiliate offer. So that's what I would do, and that's not exactly what I did way back when. That's what I would do if I started over again. But way back when, I just created bonuses for Elite Marketing Pro. So my best traffic sources, you know, I'm going to give you a list of 20 proven convert sold ad vendors. I'm going to give you done for you swipe copy. I'm going to give you a list of my 7 best emails you can send to your list, and so on and so forth, right? So you add extra value on top of the offer to increase the perceived value and the real value of the offer that you're promoting as an affiliate. Okay, so as an affiliate, well, the first thing I would do, I would get some sort of small result if I was an affiliate, right? So some piece of social proof, and then I'd create a training on how I got that small result. So it'd be immediately leveraging that small result that I got and giving that away as a bonus. If you get a result with a specific ad, I would take that ad and that swipe copy and the picture, if it's a Facebook ad, right? And I would bottle up that ad and I would take it and put it in a little swipe file. And every single time I had an ad that performed well, I would take it and I would put it in that swipe file, and it would become my, you know, bonus done for you ad templates. And as I wrote emails to my list, I'd write emails every single day to my list, and I'd find which ones convert best. So which ones have the best open rate, which one has the best click-through rate, which one, you know, gets the most sales. I find the one that gets the most sales, and I take those and I put them in my, you know, done for you push button profit swipe file. That's one of the name of our offers, right? Where you can copy and paste all my test and improved emails, and I would build my bonus out based around my results. So it holds you accountable to producing yourself. It holds you accountable to taking those action steps every single day in your business. And then from there, I would focus on done for you and done with you. So the 2 things that are going to get people to buy, and the 2 things that have the most perceived value, are done for you and done with you versus the manual, right? So the ebook is the manual, the membership site is the manual. It's the thing that people get to read and go through. And then done for you is, okay, cool, let me set up all your traffic campaigns for you. Done with you is, cool, come out, you know, to Maui and hang out, and we'll set up your ads with you, right? Examples. So I would focus on done for you and done with you with my bonuses in order to increase the perceived value there. And try to find the value gap. So that's one thing that I learned from Dagan. Whenever you're promoting something, you want to find the one little area where they're not quite doing as good of a job as they could do. In Elite Marketing Pro, it's tough to do that because they do an awesome job, right? But having said that, I know actually when Dagan crushed the initial launch of the Elite Marketing Pro system, I don't know if Elite Marketing Pro offers it now, but they didn't have done for you traffic back then, right? And so they had, you know, the lead capture pages, they had the lead acquisition process, they had the sales process, they had the follow-up in place. The only thing that was missing from someone being able to get started online and immediately make sales was traffic. People had to learn how to get traffic, right? And so what Dagan did is he created like the best bonus ever that was all done for you and done with you, traffic, right? And he filled that value gap. So that was a little gap that was missing from the actual offer. And as a result, I think he like 10x'd all of the other affiliates in the top 10 combined. So there were 9 people in the top 10, and then there was Dagan, and the 9 people combined, Dagan beat all of them out with that strategy when it comes to bonus creation. So find what isn't quite there the way it could be, fill that value gap, do it in a done for you or done with you manner. And again, with bonuses too, just like with any other offer, the selling medium will determine how much you sell. So if you just send out your bonuses via an email, it's going to be powerful, but it's not nearly going to be as powerful as if you host a webinar and get everybody on a webinar, get 50 people on a webinar and say, I have these 10 bonuses for Elite Marketing Pro, but at the very end of this webinar, all the bonuses disappear forever, right? So that's how you can kind of create a buyer's rush for something. So the more personal the selling medium, the higher ticket offer you can go ahead and sell. And so if I was promoting Elite Marketing Pro Annual or Elite Marketing Pro VIP, I would specifically host a webinar. I would provide all my bonuses on that webinar and then threaten to take it away at the very end of that webinar. So that's what I would do. Yeah, he crushed that launch. So you started with a blog. So yes, I did. I'm not saying what's right and what's wrong when it comes to Facebook because I don't know, just to be honest. I'm not a Facebook guy myself. The lesson is that anything will work if you dedicate yourself to learning it, right? So I personally did start out with a blog. If the Elite Marketing Pro team and Chef Katrina are telling you to start with a fan page, start with a fan page because, well, I don't know. It says, so you started with a blog instead of a fan page. So I assume that I would say you want to have a blog. That's my answer because it's your piece of real estate out there on the internet. It's what you own, right? Your Facebook fan page can get shut down. Anything that you don't own can be taken away from you. So if you understand that principle and you understand your email list and your blog, those are 2 things that you own, you always want to be building, right? Preach. Yeah, absolutely. And then I take, my Facebook fan page and I create content there, but I share it on my blog. So my blog is where every single piece of content that I put out there on the internet is going to go. So I create YouTube videos, Facebook Lives, webinars, whatever it may be. And I share all of those written blog posts on my blog. And then I take my blog and I share it back on social media. So it creates this ecosystem where people are seeing your blog, connecting with you on social media, going to social media, seeing you there, coming back to your blog, coming onto your email list. So you want email opt-in, template forms everywhere on your blog. To the right sidebar, above your content, below your content, everywhere, right? And so your single goal is to convert them into an email list subscriber, but you want to have everything in place. So there's an ecosystem there that kind of more or less feeds itself, right? It should be a self-feeding ecosystem. What he says. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I start with a fan page, but get your blog set up ASAP for sure. How and when should you start creating webinars? So Tim has an awesome training. My webinars are a combination of Tim Irway, Frank Kern, and Russell Brunson. Those are the 3 guys that I've studied a ton when it comes to selling over webinars. So where I would start if I was an Elite Marketing Pro member is I would go into, I believe, the VIP vault. So you got to be upgraded to a VIP member. If you're not, upgrade now. You're cheating yourself. If you're not, more or less, you're not cheating Chef or the Elite Marketing Pro team. You're cheating yourself. So get upgraded to VIP, go through the 90-minute profit machine, and that kind of shows you every single step of a sales webinar. So a sales webinar is very different than this, what we're doing right now. This is just kind of a hangout where we're kind of just talking, or I'm just talking in this case, right? A sales webinar, you're taking people through a very specific process. You're creating contrast from where they are, where they want to be. You're selling them on being on the webinar. You're breaking certain beliefs, rebuilding certain beliefs. You're providing your offer, you're closing sales of your actual offer. So it's very different. Go through that. And then from there, it's really kind of one of the lessons that Dagan imparted with me through a story about actual Jonathan Budd, who you're probably familiar with, Chef. I don't know everybody else on here, But Jonathan was one of Dagan's students, and he got started, and Jonathan wanted to create his own product, and he wasn't creating his own product, and he wasn't taking that action step that he knew he had to take. And he got Dagan on the phone, and he said, like, when can I create my own product? And Dagan told him it's a business of self-appointment. You can create your own product when you feel like you're ready to create your own product, and just do it if you're ready, right? And that's what you'll realize about this business. Writing your first blog post, hosting your first webinar, creating your own first product. It's a business of self-appointment. And the truth is that you're probably ready to do it right now. So my answer to that would be right now, and the only better time would be yesterday, right? Or 20 years ago, I think the saying goes. But having said that, it's a business of self-appointment. You have to understand that you're not going to feel ready within yourself. You're never going to get to a point where it's like, oh, okay, I'm now ready to host a webinar, or, I'm ready to create my first product. And if you do get to that point, you will have waited too long, because another saying is that if you do it right the first time, you waited too long to do it. And if you ever get to a point where you really feel like you're ready to do something and really feel like you've waited too long to do something, which is what I did with the Elite Marketing Pro Mentorship Program, right? It's more or less you've waited too long. If you get it right the first time, you waited too long. You want to fail the first time. But it's just about giving yourself permission to take that action step. And it's never going to be comfortable. You're never going to do it right the first time. So what I came to realize, and what I've come to realize about everything I do more or less in my business, is that no matter how long I wait, I'm not going to do it right the first time. When I first hosted a webinar, I did not do it correctly. My first webinar I hosted, I had 10 people on there. By the time I pitched the offer, I had one person on there, and I came to find out that that one person was on there only because they wanted a refund of a product they had purchased a week earlier because they couldn't get a hold of me via my quote unquote support desk, which was really non-existent back then, right? And so I put all this energy into hosting this webinar, and I was just completely and totally crushed. But that's kind of how everything is, right? Every single time you do something for the first time, it's always ugly. It never works out the way you wish it would have. And so you can either wait a year to do it really crappy the first time, or you can decide to do it really crappy tomorrow. But then you will have done that thing, and you will have gotten some feedback. It's not a fail or succeed type thing, right? What I always tell my students is that failure, it's like a feedback mechanism that the world gives you to make adjustments based upon moving forward. And so you will, quote unquote, fail for that one single webinar, but look at it, as a feedback mechanism, adjust based on you making, the mistakes you made and the successes that you had on that webinar, and then move forward and keep going. And the only true way to fail in this industry is to quit, is to give up too early, right? And it's like the dude mining for gold. Usually if you're thinking about quitting, your big breakthrough is right around the corner as well. Fail the first attempt in learning. Awesome. Who is that? Is that, that's you? Hell yeah. Nice. I like it. I've never heard it before, but I like it. It's awesome. Okay. So you start what media. So on what media I use, it's not media, but I use WordPress for the actual platform. And then from there, I use a plugin called Optimize Press for my actual blog. I know Elite Marketing Pro does have, I believe, a blogging system, correct, Chef? So you guys have a blogging system. I would say use that one for right now, but as quickly as humanly possible, use your own. So get your own set up, right? And I know Elite Marketing Pro is fine with me saying that because they're always trying to empower you guys with the skill sets and the strategies that you need to succeed. So understand that, yeah, you have Page Creator Pro right now that will allow you to, of course, create blog content. But having said that, the faster you get your own domain up, the faster you have your own piece of real estate out there, and the faster you start producing your own content on that own piece of real estate out there, the better off you'll do, and more quickly you'll start to build that foundation for your business, compared to if you wait. So get started, ready, fire, aim, go as quickly as humanly possible, but transition to having your own blog as quickly as humanly possible, 100%. So for email, that's a good percentage. Okay, that's a good question. Open rates with emails, I like to shoot, well, it depends again. So it's like you have to look at what came before, right? And what kind of traffic you have on your list. So there's cold traffic, people who don't know who you are, warm traffic, people who know who you are but haven't bought, and then hot traffic, people who have bought and will buy again or most likely to buy again, right? So if I have an email list of buyers and I send an email out, I want to get a way better open rate than if I have an email list of just solo ad leads, right? I build my list via solo ads. It's extremely cold traffic, and I mail my list every single day. I'm aiming for anywhere from 7 to 8% on a daily basis. When I get below 7 to 8%, what I'll do is I'll clean my list, do that whole process, engage in good list hygiene, and get my open rates back up. But if you're, let's say, using Facebook ads and you're targeting people with a Facebook fan page and you're creating that ecosystem where they've already liked your page, they've seen your face, they've watched your video, and then they opt into your list, I would guess, I don't have stats, but I would guess that open rates would be higher on average than if you're just going after cold solo ad traffic, right? So it's more about, knowing your traffic, knowing the source of traffic, and knowing what your goal should be based on that source of traffic. But for me, myself, I like to go 7 to 8%. When it starts to get into the 5%, 4%, if it does, I'll clean my list. When I clean my list, it'll shoot right back up to 7, 8%. And then what you do is you take the overall number of people who have opened and look at how many people click versus that number. So don't look at the little 0.01% of people clicked or 1% of people clicked. Look at, okay, 700 people opened this email and 70 people click. That means you have a 10% click-through rate from open to click, right? And again, it depends on the actual goal of the email. So if you're trying to create a relationship, telling a story, providing infotainment to your list, you don't need a really high click-through rate. If you're just trying to sell something, if you're just trying to get someone over to a sales page, you're gonna want a little bit of a higher open rate, right? So I would say reverse engineer, start with the end in mind, figure out what your goal is, figure out who you're speaking to, warm, cold, or hot, and then figure out what your goal is for your open rates from there. So is open rate. So what does it mean to clean your list? It just means more or less, so every, let's say 60 days, get rid of the people who haven't opened. So you should always be tracking who's open, and your autoresponder will do it for you. Aweber, GetResponse, whatever you're using will do it for you. And if over the course of, let's say 30 days, you're getting an 8% open rate, over the course of 30 days, you might get a high percentage of your list to open, but there will be people who haven't opened your emails. And clean your list just means to get rid of the people who haven't opened, right? And it's one of those things you have to have a mindset shift around, because most people freak out when they first were cleaning. I looked at stats the other day. We are, as of right now, taking just about 10,000 people off the list every single 30 days. So every single month, we take 10,000 people off the list. But we add more than that, and so we are building the list very quickly, right? But every single month, bunch of leads are coming off my list every single month. But how I look at it is, if I take those 10,000 people who aren't opening off my list, I have a better chance of engaging to people who are likely to buy and likely to engage with my marketing and likely to respond with my marketing, based on the fact, that I don't really know how it works, but with email marketing, the higher your open rate is, the higher your click-through rate is. Gmail says, oh, okay, cool, this guy's getting a lot of engagement. This guy's likely to be marketing in a cool way. This guy's likely to be a real human being. So we're gonna reward them. And then they allow you to send more frequently to the actual email inbox. So if you never clean your list, what will happen is Gmail, AOL, Yahoo, whatever it may be, they'll say, this person isn't the real deal, and they'll start sending you to the spam folder. So it's just one of those things where you have to clean very regularly. You have to get over the fear of cleaning your list. If you don't clean your list, you'll end up with an asset that isn't really worth anything, because you won't be able to hit the email inbox. How many emails? Okay, so this is one of those questions that people ask me all the time. I email my list every single day, or that's my goal too, right? My goal is to email my list every single day. And way back when, my goal was actually to email my list twice a day when I was an affiliate. And I remember I was in this state where I built my email list. Everybody was talking about, email list, email list, email list, build your email list. It's your single most valuable asset. You got to build your email list. And I worked so hard to build my email list, and I could not make a sale to save my freaking life with my email list. And I was trying so hard, and I was failing so hard when it came to my email marketing. And I remember actually getting on a late night webinar with Dagan. I learned a lot from Dagan. I'm so appreciative for what him and the guys at Elite Marketing Pro have done for me. But I got on a late night webinar with Dagan. He started talking about your lists in the analogy of, being kind of like a baseball stadium, right? So if you go to a baseball game, there's irresistible entertainment during the actual innings, right? So during the internet or during the innings of the game, you have your entertainment, you have the baseball game going on, you have the show that you want to watch, that you're there to watch going on, right? And then every single time there's a commercial break, every single time, the inning changes. I'm not really that keen to baseball. I don't follow it that much, but I think I'm using the right terminology. Every single time there's a commercial break, there's a blatant advertisement shown in the big billboards, right? So there's an advertisement to go buy beer. There's an advertisement to get signed up with Nokia cell phone, whatever it may be, right? And that's how you want to treat your email list. You want to treat your email list in the context of, I have this group of people here who I know they're interested in internet marketing. I know they're interested in network marketing, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them, all the value that they want, all the entertainment that they want, associated with that actual niche. But then I'm also going to sell to them on the commercial breaks, right? So way back when, what it was in the morning, every single day I would send a piece of value, I'd send a piece of content, I'd send a piece of, a story, a video, a training video, just kind of more or less what happened today, right? Stories tend to work best with email lists. Just be different, be interesting. Study the attractive character. Russell Brunson, awesome, one of the best marketers out there. He has the quote-unquote attractive character. John Alanis is actually the first guy I learned it from, the same guy that Dagan learned it from. But just a piece of entertainment in the morning, and then in the evening, a direct sales message. So 3 to 5 links, sending people directly over to your Elite Marketing Pro sales page, your Attraction Marketing Formula sales page, your whatever your offer is that you're promoting within the Elite Marketing Pro system. And what will happen is that you'll create kind of a self-cleaning oven effect where everybody on your list who doesn't really like you, so everybody on your list who doesn't think it's worth being at the baseball game for the actual advertisements will leave, but then everybody on your list who really likes the baseball game metaphorically and really likes what you have to offer value-wise and content-wise, they'll stay around through the commercial breaks. You'll build a relationship with them. Then at the same time, you'll be selling your offers every single day, and you'll be getting people back to your sales pages, which is the only time you actually make money. And when I implemented that strategy, I actually talked to Tyson about this at NES 8, and he isn't doing 2 emails a day. I don't know if he has the intention of doing it moving forward, but he had this thing internally where he just wanted to send people back to a blog, give them a piece of value, and then try to link out to a sales page from his blog. And that was his thing for the longest period of time. And he studied Ben Settle, which is another guy who implements the talk radio email style of follow-up. Tyson changed his strategy and he immediately doubled the sales. I had more than doubled my sales when I implemented that strategy. So the answer is send as often as you can, provide as much value as you can, but don't be shy about selling. Don't be reserved about selling, because again, the only time you make sales is when you sell. And there's an art to sell in a cool way. Learn story selling. I highly recommend learning how to tell a story in a way that gets people engaged and gets people there with you, and of course in a way that sells. But if you're shy about selling, you're never going to make a sale and nothing's going to happen. So that would be my answer for that one. Yeah, so people feel like they're being pushy when they email too often. Well, what's your goal of having an email list, right? That's my question usually. So if your goal of having an email list is to make money, you want to email often, because the more often you email your list, the more money you'll make. If your goal is to have an email list and look at it and say, cool, this is a cool list, but I don't want to sell anything, then don't be pushy and don't sell, right? But bottom line, I mean, the more webinars I host, so the more often I host webinars, the more sales I make. The more emails I send, the more sales I make. The more live events I host, the more sales I make. The more consistent I am with any single piece of my sales process, the better off I do. And just kind of based on that, it's about looking at your goals and figuring out what you need to do in order to hit your goals, and not letting yourself or some internal belief system kind of more or less keep you from moving forward. Yeah, open loop. So powerful strategy to keep your list engaged. One of the things that will hurt list response is just to kind of have one-off messages, right? So if it's just always a one-off message, you want to kind of 30,000 foot view. It should be more than just open loops. You want to be always, selling your list, selling your people on your list, either on a product or a belief. So as an example, if I tell a story about, attending a mastermind. I tell a story about investing in myself, and I tell a story about investing in myself and having, what I learned at that mastermind transform my business. And then I'm also selling, let's say, a $1 product in that email, right? I might have one person purchase the $1 trial. I might have 10 people have that new belief that they need to invest in themselves, which conditions them to want to buy the next product moving forward, right? And then I might have, a large percentage not open, but I always want to be doing more than one thing in an email. Usually I'm telling a story to create rapport with my audience. I'm telling, something about the attractive character. I'm selling a belief system to my actual email list. And then I'm keeping an open loop moving forward with my marketing. And an open loop is just, if you've watched the show Lost, right? Where you'll watch one episode and they'll open up two little stories within the actual story, and they'll close the story they started the week before, but they just opened up two more. And so now you have two open loops, and you have to watch the next episode in order to tune in for whatever comes next, right? That's essentially an open loop. And Lost has, they're done now. They would literally open like 3 or 4 loops, close one, and then close 2 more, but open 4 more. And so you're constantly in this cycle of like, God, I need to watch the next one. And that's why when you go on Netflix and you go to House of Cards, or you go to whatever show that you're wanting to go to, Dexter for me, right? You're like, oh, okay, I'll watch one episode. And then like 12 hours later, you're like, where did the day go, right? That's what happens to me all the time because of the open loops that they use within their, marketing strategy. They're trying to tie you in to watch the next thing, because TV, there's an insane amount of money to be made with TV if you do it right. So they're keeping you engaged, and you can do that with email. So the first email you send, a little introduction to who you are, and you say, tomorrow I'm going to share with you the one thing that changed it all. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Here's the subject line for tomorrow's email. You put the subject line, what the subject line will be. And then the next day, it's, you share that one thing. You say, tomorrow I'm going to share with you 5 blog posts that have gotten the best reviews from all the people who have read them, listened to them, watched them, etc. Be sure to tune in tomorrow so you get that thing. And then the next day, it's, you've seen the offer, you've heard my story, you've seen, how I can help my clients with all the blog posts I shared. But having said that, I'm going to give you an awesome bonus tomorrow if you open tomorrow's email. So you're creating this movement of people opening your emails. And once you can get people, and I'm talking specifically there with what you call like an indoctrination series, which is the first couple of emails that get sent out to your list, right? But more or less, you're creating a pattern of behavior that's hard to break, right? So you're conditioning them. If you can get them to open those first 4, 5, 6, 7 emails, Andre Chaperone has an awesome course, Autoresponder Madness, that just opens up so many different kind of, he teaches you to open loops at a whole new level, but it conditions them moving forward. So when you start mailing them every single day with your entertainment, they're much more likely to open moving forward. So open loops are awesome. Absolutely use them. So put open loops in. So again, Mary, with the fan page questions, I don't use my fan page that much. What I do in my own personal strategy is different, right? But again, the lesson is pick one strategy, decide to master that strategy, and then you can do really well, right? What my fan page looks like is I use it as a medium to be able to create content. So all I literally do, and that's actually just on the business one, my personal one I have not maintained well at all. Don't produce almost any content. Jeff's getting pissed, right? But all I do is I literally host a Facebook Live, and I only host the Facebook Live because it's a faster way for me to create a video, right? If I have to record a video with my phone, download it on my computer, edit it in Camtasia, take it from Camtasia, upload it to YouTube, take that YouTube link, send it out to my list, it's this long, painful process, right? Where if I just like grab my phone and say like, hey guys, we're live, right? I could do one right here. Hey guys, we're live, check it out. And then I take that video and I send that out to my list. It's just a much more streamlined process to allow me to create content that I'm sending to my list. So my main strategy is to build my list with solo ads, and then to build a relationship with my list with everything I do on Facebook, right? But again, it just depends on your strategy. If you're trying to build your fan page so you can target, other network marketers, build a likes campaign around it, and then re-engage and retarget those people, totally different strategy. Both will work if you get really good at those strategies. So That's what I would say. Lifestyle pics. So yeah, with my personal like profile, all I do is lifestyle pics, right? So that would come back to understanding what your marketplace really wants. So one of the biggest and the thing that you should all start with before you do anything that we talked about here today on this webinar is take some time to do some market research. Market research is the differentiator between, you know, selling steak to someone who's starving and, you know, an actual person who will eat steak, or trying to sell a steak to a vegetarian, right? No matter how good that piece of steak is, and no matter what kind of deal you give on that piece of steak, if you give a 75% off discount to, you know, a starving vegan who's been in the middle of the desert for the last 12 days, they will not buy that steak, right? Because they're so passionate about their veganism. Where if you, you know, give a 10% discount on the same steak to someone who loves steak, they'll buy it. So market research, people want lifestyle. People want to, you know, be able to travel. They want to be able to go to the beach. You'll see beach photos of me, right? People want to be able to have freedom at a core level. Lifestyle and freedom are the two biggies. And so I create this perception that I'm at the beach all the time, but I'm really not. I work a lot. I spend a lot of time in front of the computer, but I do get to go to the beach and have an awesome lifestyle, and I'm extremely grateful for it. So there's certain things you want to show. There are certain things you don't want to. You never want to lie, but I wouldn't take, you know, pictures nonstop working 12 hours a day and try to make it seem sexy to the marketplace, because it's just not what the marketplace wants, right? It's trying to swim upstream instead of just kind of riding the wave and be shore. So I live on Maui, right? I should do more lifestyle photos. If I could get myself to go all out with it, it would be Instagram, Twitter, you know, Facebook, every single different platform. No Twitter? No Twitter? Instagram? You're a Pinterest gal, right? Pinterest is your big one. Yeah, if I could get myself to do the full-on thing, but it's just kind of, I feel it's inauthentic because I'm here working and doing my thing. And if I were posting, you know, videos, so I mean, one person actually told me, dude, just go and like, and me and Matt Crystal actually talked about it laughing, right? But it was like, dude, just go and like one day of the week, wear a bunch of different shirts and do a bunch of different videos of you on the beach and cruise around, and just like every single day post a different video of you cruising. And it would totally crush it because it's what the audience wants. And it would create this perception of me making a lot of money without really doing anything. But the truth is it's inauthentic. And I think it's more important to be authentic and have integrity than make a quick dollar or make a few more dollars than, you know, you're currently making. So what I do is every single time I'm actually at the beach, I make it a point to take a picture and to post it on my wall, but then I don't abuse it. I don't overuse it in my marketing either. But yeah, lifestyle. Yeah, YouTube vlogs are awesome. Oh, Terry. That's a good question. It's something we should do a little bit better. To be honest, we don't as of right now. The tough thing about, for my strategy at least, right? My strategy tends to revolve around talk radio, email. It tends to revolve, okay, so the question is, do you have your content planned out for a month or a week, you know, et cetera? So are you on a certain schedule? So we have a certain schedule for certain promotions that we're going to do, right? And then there's certain promotions that we'll do at certain times based on kind of, you know, we don't want to host a huge promotion right before Christmas, right? So there are certain things where we'll plan out promotions, but then when it comes to daily content for myself, I'm still the person creating most of the content in my business. I'm still writing emails on a daily basis. It's something that I'll probably want to leverage myself out of at some point in time. It's also something that I really enjoy doing, right? And it's one of those things where with my strategy, it's talk radio, email, it's entertainment, it's kind of infotainment. So what I'm doing is I'm telling stories based on what happened yesterday, or I'm telling stories based on, you know, being at the movie theaters and watching this movie and them talking about hope in that movie, right? And then talking about the power of having hope in your business. So what I'm doing is I create content on the fly, but I create content on the fly in a strategic fashion, knowing that it is more powerful. So I don't know, you know, the whole autoresponder versus daily live broadcasts, in my opinion, and from testing and from tweaking and from looking at numbers, it's always more powerful to send daily live emails to your list. Because when you talk about going to, you know, the new Star Wars movie, or when you talk about going to, you know, a current event, when you talk about what's going on in politics, God forbid, right? When you talk about something that's going on right now, people on the other end of that email, they understand that someone is actually there, and someone's actually there, a real human being's there who has a real life beyond just this is how you set up a blog, or this is how you create, you know, a Facebook ad. So how-to content will only get you so far. For myself, I realized at a certain point that how-to content wasn't doing much for my business. So now I'll do 80% entertainment, 20% content on a very regular basis. And the entertainment, it's easiest and it's most powerful when you're just doing it kind of completely and totally on the fly, and it's more or less organic, right? And then also, if you're doing that, you can use open loops much more powerfully. So if I'm working on, you know, a Soul About Success Formula webinar right now, so a webinar where I'm selling my traffic product right now, right? And it's, you know, Monday, July 3rd, I can tell a cool little story from yesterday, and then I can say, make sure you tune in over the next couple of days because I have something really cool coming next week, right? So it's easier to create an open loop, and it's easier to keep your list engaged moving forward. Oh, that's you. Yeah, any more questions? This is a lot of content. I've specifically tried to not do as much content and tell more stories with my marketing now. It's fun to just kind of go over content too and get back in the flow of content. But one thing for all you guys on here, when I'm talking about content versus stories, be sure to go back and watch this thing 3 or 4 times, right? And kind of soak up everything I've talked about. Because the reason I tell so many stories in my marketing, it's not because I don't want to give the content. Some people kind of look at people who tell stories, like Vitaly tells awesome stories in his emails, right? They look at those people and they say, oh, that person doesn't want to tell that. Or they don't want to give the value. They don't want to provide the piece of content. It's more based on the fact that if I tell a story, you guys will understand it. If I tell a how-to piece of content, you have to go through it 4, 5, 6 times, right? For you to understand it. The stories are very memorable. And so whenever you can tell a story in your marketing in a cool way, that illustrates a certain message and illustrates a certain lesson, your audience will understand it a little bit more. And remember, they'll come back to you for more stuff and you'll create more of a bond. But that's what I would say. Awesome, Curtis. Sounds good. I wish my mic worked. Awesome, Paula. Glad you got value. Yes, absolutely. Start before you feel ready because you'll never feel ready. Chef Katrina will second me on that. I would guess at least, but you'll never come to a point where it's like, okay, cool, I'm ready to do that thing. And if you do feel ready, you've waited much too long in your journey. Awesome. A silent training for me. When you send emails, do you send live video related to that first, like reminder? You always use video and email on one topic. So I don't know if I fully understand the question. I think I do. If the question is just, do I send people to my videos? Yes, absolutely. Do you think that's the question, Chef? Okay, so yeah, I send people to my videos as much as humanly possible because I don't personally believe no matter how good of a storyteller you are, no matter how good at the written word you are, I think there's gonna be more of a relationship built if you get comfortable in front of the camera and if you can send people to your videos, right? So what I'll do a lot is I'll tell stories on my actual videos and I'll create content in the story-based format on my videos, but then I'll send my email list over to my actual videos and build a relationship further with them like that, just because there's no, right now you guys are here listening to my voice, watching this video, you see me face-to-face, you see Chef face-to-face, you see my Rip Curl shirt, you're getting a sense for me being a laid back kind of surfer dude type guy, right? That's who I am. So I can't write an email and make you feel that way. I can tell you I'm that way, right? But if you come to that conclusion yourself, you're never gonna doubt it. Where if I try to tell you, this is how I am, it's gonna be harder. So the relationship will always be built to a little bit of a further degree. If you do videos, if you do lives, if you bring them over to social media, connect with them, as many places as humanly possible, for sure. Awesome. I've inspired you to keep pushing forward. That's the goal. Inspire one person and you'll be good. Oh, okay. So yeah, the email would introduce the same, or the video, same topic. Yeah. So if I tell a story about one thing that changed it all in my business, and let's say I talk about events in that video, and I talk about the transformation I've experienced at events, and then I sell the No Excuses Summit or whatever the thing is that I might sell, right? The subject line would be, the one thing that changed it all, ... And then I would literally just have in the email, the one thing changed it all, ... I'd have a picture of the video. So I would screenshot the video. I would take a play button off Google. I'd copy and paste that play button onto the image, and that would be the next thing. So it's literally just one sentence, the actual image of the video with a play button that will allow them to click over and watch the video, and then a little bit of copy down below. And very short, very concise, very straight to the point. If I want to do some, story-based email where I write out a long story and I involve them in a chapter-based style of promotion, it's going to be different, right? But again, it comes back to the goal of the email. But yeah, congruency. So the same topic, congruency is key. You don't want to tell them, the one Facebook ad trick that will change it all, and then send them to a solo ad training video. Nothing good is going to happen of that, right? So, just thinking, live video camera was backwards. Yeah, pretty much. It happens. It's happened to the best of us. Is that anything else you do? Am I missing any questions here, Chef? Okay, I thought you were pointing to a question. Yeah, of course. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being on here. We got, what, 37 people on here still with us? I think. Yeah, 37 viewers. Oh, 50-ish. Nice. Well, hey, thank you guys for being on here for an hour of me rambling. Obviously, you're still on here an hour later. You're committed to your business. And everything the guys at Elite Marketing Pro teach, follow it to the T. When I started following it to the T and without questioning it is when good things happen in my business. And if you do the same in your business, good things will happen. So I appreciate all you guys and love all you guys. Thank you, Chef, for everything you do. And yeah, whenever you want me back on here, I'll come on here. Oh, Andrew, what's going on, brother? I think that's Andrew. Good to see you, man. Always good to see you. I'm gonna go get some rest. All good? Cool. All right, guys, appreciate you. Later.